Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Marissa Explains It All. You guys, spring has sprung. It is beautiful outside. It's so sunny now and it's getting warm where I live. Hopefully it's warm where you live too. It's that time of year where you just want to throw open your windows and start cleaning everything. Get those dust bunnies out and clean out those cobwebs. So I figured what I would do is take you guys on a tour of my house as I go through each room and just clean everything. Clean all the things that I haven't really cleaned in a while. So if that sounds interesting to you and you want to come along the ride, then come spring clean with me. So what I'm going to take you through is just some of the major items that I clean maybe once or twice a year, not things that I clean all the time. So like I'm not going to show you how I clean my floors or my countertops because like I do those every day. But I'm just going to take you through the things that room by room that maybe you don't get to but once or twice a year. So I pulled this spring cleaning checklist from the Taste of Home website, and they had like a really great article on spring cleaning. I just kind of went through and pulled some ideas for things that I typically will do, and I'll show you how I tend to do them. And so I just have my little checklist here that I'm reading off of, but we're gonna tackle the kitchen, the living room, the bathroom, laundry and utility rooms, bedrooms and closet, and then just sort of throughout, things that need to be cleaned all throughout the house that don't have a specific room. One thing I will mention is that there are several different ways you could clean things. This is just how I like to do it, but certainly you could clean with whatever cleaner you have on hand. So that was my first caveat, is that, you know, just because I do it this way doesn't mean like you can't clean, you know, with whatever cleaner you like best. So feel free to adopt the products that I'm using or just use your own. And the second thing I just want to note is that I do tend to use a lot of products from multi-level marketing companies. So I do use Norwex and I do use Young Living essential oil cleaners. And so I have those too, and I don't always exclusively just use those, but you'll probably see a lot of those throughout, and I don't sell them. So I'm not trying to sell you anything, but just be aware that you'll probably see a lot of those because that's what I tend to use the most often because I think they work really well. And I'm interested in more natural cleaning where I can. I don't always, you know, use all natural cleaners, but the majority of the time I do stick to those kind of natural essential oil or natural cleaning methods. So just be aware you'll see all those, and if you're interested in getting connected with a consultant, I'm sure I can point you in the right direction. Please hit subscribe. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload. And let's begin with the kitchen. So for the kitchen, I am looking to clean the oven, the dishwasher, the refrigerator, degreasing the cabinet doors, and then discarding old expired like spices and pantry items. So let's start with the oven. So my oven, I have saved up some nice grease for you guys. I wanted to have like a really good before and after. So I did not clean my oven and my stovetop for like a week just to show you guys, like have a nice, like really dirty, like starting point for you guys. So you can really see the power of this product that I'm gonna show you. So what I use is the Wyman Cooktop Cleaner Kit. And it comes with a liquid, like a cleaner agent, and it comes with a razor blade and a scrubber. So it comes with these three products in the kit, and I'll put all the prices down. I'll pop up as I mention them, and I'll of course put the links to the items to Amazon in the description box below so you can click and get those. But I really like this kit. It does really well for just getting that really stuck on, caked on gunk that you just can't seem to get off with your regular cleaner. And so I'll show you guys now what I do for that. So here I'm starting with my super gross stove, and I can't believe I'm like let it get this bad, but it's for the sake of the video. So I wanted to get a close-up of just this really like stuck on stuff that always happens around my burners, especially the one I use the most. I just went ahead and removed the grates, take my Norwex cloth and give it like a nice rub down, and then I take this Wyman's Cooktop polish itself and just kind of spread a little dollop on there. And then I take the little scrubby pad that comes with it, which is really nice, like a little scouring pad, and start scrubbing away just to get all the loose dirt off. And there's like a little stuck on stuff that this scraper is great for, the little razor blade. And I took a paper towel and just kind of wiped away the excess of the product. And then I am just taking a microfiber cloth and I kind of buff it out to shine, and it comes out so much better. And then for the close-up stuff, like this little stuck on stuff around the burners themselves, I'm taking my little scraper tool, and look at all that. It just came off with the scraper. I'm using it gently, of course. Don't, you know, gouge it with the razor blade, but I just wipe that away, and oh my gosh, look how pretty. It's so much better. It's so shiny and so beautiful. So I am loving how it turned out, and that's what it looks like with the grates all back on it. It's awesome. Next up is actually cleaning your stainless steel sink and your stainless steel pots and pans. So I love these. If you have Teflon, this of course is a different process for you, but I love cooking with stainless steel because it doesn't have the harmful chemicals of the coating that Teflon pans have, the non-stick pans, but they often get these really like burnt on kind of things that just don't come off in the dishwasher, and you really have to hand scrub those. And then similarly, the sink seems to accumulate just some kind of grime on it, you know, even though you're using it every day to wash. So what I've done here is I picked up some Barkeeper's Friend, and I will just work this into a nice little paste with a sponge and just give it a little scrub, and the difference is amazing. Just looks so much cleaner and brighter, and then all of the stuff comes right off of your stainless steel pans as well. Next up, let's talk about the dishwasher. So a lot of people don't know that you have to clean the dishwasher. So, you know, it does such a good job of cleaning our dishes for us, but it often gets kind of gunked up stuff in there, and you just need to clean it. So I use the Afresh product. They're these little tablets that you just run in your dishwasher, and so you can just kind of pop these into the load with or without dishes, and they will clean, and they do a great job of, I think they descale maybe some of the hard water, and they just do a great job of freshening everything up with the cleaning agents that they have in there, and they make your glassware look sparkly as well. And then also don't forget about the filter. So clean your dishwasher filter. Certainly that is something that people often neglect and forget. Just pull it out, give it a good rinse, and then stick it back in. This could also be done more often than once a year, so I suggest doing it once a month. Next up is the refrigerator. So of course this is where we house all our food, and so I don't know how it happens, but it seems like I always have little spills or little crumbs or little like bits of vegetables or something in my fridge, and they just need to be cleaned out. And so I'm gonna go ahead and take these out. I have removable bins, of course, for my vegetables and fruits and meat, and then I have the shelves that actually slide out, so I can clean these a little bit easier, and they do remove as well. The whole shelf will remove, and so a lot of times it's easier for me to just take the shelf out and take it over to the sink. And so oftentimes when I'm doing like a really deep clean, I will take the whole shelf out and take it over to the sink and just give it a nice scrub with just like some dish soap and a sponge. Or if I'm doing like a maintenance clean, I will just take my Young Living Thieves Cleaner, and I will spray down the shelf and wipe it off, or just use a Norwex cloth. Use a Norwex cloth and water. And so there are several ways, like I said before, you could do this. I've done all three, so whatever works for you. And then as a follow-up, I think I might do this in a future video where I will organize the refrigerator contents with just those nice clear organization bins from my home edit video. So if you haven't checked out that video, check that out up here. That video goes into detail about some of the dupes that you can get for cheaper than the Container Store to help organize your life. And one of those things is the refrigerator. So I have always wanted to kind of organize my refrigerator with those clear bins, and so I may do that in the future, but for today, I'm just gonna clean. Next up is degreasing the cabinet doors. So of course there are grease splatters and just sticky substances and things that just always tend to like cling to your cabinets, and they really need to be cleaned and get a good scrub in. There's several ways you can do this. I'm just going to probably go in today with some vinegar actually, and a little bit of Dawn and some hot water. And so I get like a nice big bowl full of really hot water, and then I'll just put in a little bit of dish soap, and then I do put in about maybe a half cup to a cup of vinegar as well, which is a great natural cleaning agent. So I just kind of mix all that up, and I go in with a Norwex cloth and just start kind of scrubbing away. You can certainly use a toothbrush, an old toothbrush, if you want to get into some of the little fine cracks and things in your cabinets. The other thing I've heard that's good for this is a cleaner called Pink Stuff. So if you wanted to try that out, I'll put the link down below, of course. I haven't tried this, but I've heard really amazing things about this in the cleaning groups that I'm part of. It's a cleaning paste, I think, that's multi-purpose and takes a lot of things off. A lot of people swear by it for their kids when they get Sharpie and markers and things on their surfaces. So definitely give that a try. This is also supposed to be good for degreasing the cabinets. The last thing for the kitchen that I do every year is just discarding all your old spices and expired like pantry items. So I have had spices in there that I just haven't really used in a long time, and I check the expiration date and it expired like 2 years ago. Or I'll have like, you know, maybe canned goods or like breadcrumbs or something that I haven't used in a long time, and I'll go to use them again and it expired like 3 years ago. So definitely want to get rid of those. Sometimes they just have a habit of accumulating and just hanging out in the backs of your cabinet. So go through all those items, check all the expiration dates, and just toss whatever's old. You'll be surprised at how much room you can free up in your cabinets. Next, let's move to the living room. So the living room tends to get cleaned, I think, and picked up fairly often, but you may have only spot cleaned and not really given like a really nice shampoo if you have carpet, like I said, or rugs in there. I have a 2-inch shag rug in my living room, and so I do like to shampoo it. I actually shampoo it monthly, but if you haven't gotten around to doing it that often, certainly you could do it, you know, once a year during your part of your spring clean. So I use the Hoover Smart Wash, which I love, definitely a great machine, and it's so easy to use. You just push it forward and backward, and it just washes and dries, and it's has really cool features to it. So check that out. If you don't have one, I recommend that one. And if you don't want to buy something and you just want to rent something, Lowe's and Home Depot will often rent a Bissell Green machine. You can rent a carpet cleaner and just clean that way. And if you're not interested in doing those and you have a very nice like oriental rug that you want to clean, you can certainly always send it out for cleaning if that's in your budget to clean. I found that mine was about $350 to clean for an 8x10 rug, and so to me it was more worth it to spend that money on a carpet cleaning machine rather than to keep cleaning it, to have that be the bill once. The next thing is to wash your blankets and pillows. And this is, again, something that you probably do more often than once a year, but just wanted to throw it into my spring cleaning video because it hasn't been done in a little while. Just toss those blankets and pillows into the wash if your pillows are washable, or you can always spot clean as well. And lastly, sanitize your remote control. It's something that we touch every day and we often don't think about sanitizing. And so for these, sometimes I'll use a Clorox wipe, even though they're not really that good. Certainly wear gloves for this process if you're gonna be touching chemicals, or you can use the Young Living spray and a paper towel, whatever you feel like, or you can also just use like a Lysol spray or a natural cleaning spray that will clean the germs on contact as long as it's safe. So, but don't saturate your remote control, obviously, because it's electronics. Make sure you're being careful with that and don't get it too wet. Next up is the bathroom, and so one of the things that I wanted to do here was discard old makeup and medications. Medications are easier because they have an expiration date on them, and you'd be surprised again, this is the same thing with the pantry and spices, where I've gone in and my medication expired a year ago, like those vitamins that you may have had. And sometimes they're good after, the expiration date, but if it's really far out of date, just toss it. It's always better to get new stuff that's more effective anyway. Makeup is a little harder because unless you know when you bought it, you may not know when to toss it. So it's a little more difficult. If you look on the back of any product, you'll actually see that there is usually a expiration date for when it expires. And so like on lotions and creams and things like that, they often say 12 months or sometimes 6 months. And mascara is certainly 3 to 4 months, I believe, 3 to 6 months. So if you know that you have had this product longer than that, let's go ahead and toss it. You can get like really nasty bacteria and just germs, especially in things like mascara where you're dipping in and you're using them on your eyes frequently. You'd be surprised at how nasty they can be just bacterial wise. I'd love to put that under a microscope, but for example, I have liquid lipsticks that I've used, and you dip it and you put it in your mouth and then you dip it into the thing again, and I've had those for like 3 years and I just have to toss them. They're just gross. Next up on the list is tile grout, and I actually have pretty old tile that has some really stuck on ground and dirt. So I have tried to use a couple tile like grout cleaners to clean it, and it just doesn't really ever come like all the way clean. It might lighten the dirt a little bit, but I think it's just really like stuck in and ground on there. So if this applies to you and you're finding that cleaners don't work as well, check out this tile grout pen. I bought this pen on Amazon, and it is awesome just for making the whole tile look brighter and lighter. So as you can see, it just comes with this little pen that you just kind of shake up, and you just depress the nib until the ink starts flowing, and then you basically just paint the tile grout back again to the color that you want. It comes in different colors, white, gray, other colors, but I just chose white to kind of brighten up my tile. And it is waterproof, so you just let it dry. It's dry to the touch within 30 minutes, and then it recommends that you let it sit for 24 hours before getting it wet. You can use it in the shower if you have a tiled shower, but this is something that I think makes a huge difference in the look of your tile, so check it out. And it's also a good time to clean your makeup brushes and your makeup sponge. So if you haven't checked out my how to clean your makeup tools video, check that out here. Next up, or last up, I'd say in the bathroom for me is the tub, just to really scrub it out. Of course, I do clean my shower very often, and as you clean the countertops and the toilet and things like that very often, but I don't always get in to really scrub the tub or really deep clean and scrub the shower and tub. So I like to use Magic Eraser for this. Of course, like I said, you can use any other cleaner that you like and just use elbow grease ways, but to me, the Magic Eraser really just gets all that stuff, the soap scum, right off. It just peels right off, and it's much easier to use. And my hack for this is that you can actually buy these melamine sponges. That's what the material is of Magic Eraser. You can buy melamine sponges in bulk from Amazon for much cheaper than you can buy the Magic Eraser brand. And so I'm just have my facts here. You can get 100 melamine sponges for $10, and that is only 10 cents per little sponge. And versus the Magic Eraser brand, if you were to buy that brand on Amazon, I found that you could only get 10 for $12.50. So that's $1.25 per. So I would much rather spend 10 cents and get 100 of them rather than $1.25 per. It's a huge cost savings, especially if you use them all the time. And then I don't feel bad about tossing them. So I can just use them once and just toss them, and because they always get really kind of gross with all the soap scum and the grime on them, and I don't reuse them when they're gross like that. So definitely check out melamine sponges instead of you paying for that brand name. If you have some really stuck on like stubborn dirt and grime, you can actually buy this drill attachment kit. And so I did buy this, and I'll put this in the link as well, description box below. And it's a kit of brushes that attaches to your drill, and the drill does all of the heavy scrubbing for you. And so I just used a small one here, and I just use my little drill, attach it, and just go to town and let it scrub for you, so that way you don't have to use quite as much elbow grease. And the difference it makes is amazing, and just like how much whiter it is. Next, let's head over to the laundry room and just utility space. And so for this, I'm gonna clean my washing machine. Same concept as the dishwasher, where you have to kind of clean it to keep it fresh, and things just mold can kind of accumulate in some of the washer holes and things like that. So I also use the Fresh product for this as well. They have one specific for washing machines. I think they have one product for high efficiency washers as well if you have that, but I just have a regular machine. And so you just drop the tablet in, and I think you do this without the clothes. Just go ahead and drop it in and run your cycle. Just follow the directions on the package, and it makes your washing machine nice and clean. It gets everything sparkling in there so that your clothes can be cleaner, and a lot of people say that their clothes smell fresher after using this product. Next up is cleaning your dryer vent. So this is one that can be a little bit daunting because people often, see that they have to pull the dryer out, and you have to hook up like a vacuum or like a blower or something to your dryer vent hose, like that, big silver part that connects to the outside. And you can certainly do that. You can do that, and you can snake it. You can run a snake through there, and you can blow it out, or you can suck it out with a vacuum. And you can also hire companies to do this too. I want to say it's probably a couple $100 where I live to have someone actually come in, a professional company come in and clean your dryer vents. But I found this really cool product. It's really highly rated. And it's from Amazon, of course, and it just attaches to your vacuum cleaner, and you hook it up to your vacuum, and you just clean out the lint trap, basically where the lint trap is, and you'd be surprised at how much stuff you can get out. And I am one of those people that cleans the lint trap maybe once every 2 or 3 times that I use the dryer. My husband cleans it like every single time religiously. So check this out. When I just hook it up to my vacuum cleaner and just put it in where the lint trap goes, now I don't have to move the dryer out. And you can do that if you want to spend the time to invest in pulling it all out and unclamping the hose, and just really doing a thorough job. You can certainly get into that dryer vent hose, and but I didn't do that this time, and I was able to get some nice results. So check that out. And then you can also go outside to where the vent empties into at the exterior of your house, and use that vacuum there too. A lot of times there's a grate. You might have to take off the grate, but if you take that off, and you'll be able to suck that out, or you can sometimes just get this attachment through your grate. If it's small enough, or if the grate's large enough, you can probably just stick the hose in there and suck out that way. So check that out. Certainly worth it to help keep everything safe and prevent fires. Next up is, of course, replacing your air filters. So this is something that's supposed to be done every month, and a lot of people just kind of forget. You get busy and you don't do it as often. So definitely check out replacing your air filters. My husband just did this in our house, so I didn't need to replace them this time, but I'm just kind of showing the video of how to do it. Super easy. You just unscrew your vent cover and take out the old air filter, write down the dimensions, go get yourself a new one, and pop that new one in and screw it back in. Next up is the bedroom and closet. So this one, I felt like, again, you probably do pick up your bedroom, the clothes and things and put those away on a regular basis. But some things that you may not do on a regular basis would be to donate unused clothing or items in your closet. And so I know that I have all these clothes from like a thinner time that I know I'm not going to get back to, or maybe things that I bought once and I just didn't love it. I didn't love the way it fit me. As Marie Kondo would say, the things that don't spark joy. And so donate those. But someone else could benefit from that. So certainly go through your closet and look through all the items that you haven't worn in the last year. If you haven't worn in the last year and you know you're probably not going to, if it's not a specialty item, for example, like a snowsuit, don't get rid of those. But definitely just consider donating it or giving it to a friend or donating to a thrift store. Someone else can find use out of that. Next up is vacuuming and flipping your mattress. So this is something I definitely don't do more than once a year. I don't think about it, but take off those sheets and let's freshen up the mattress. Sprinkle some baking soda on your mattress and let it sit for a little while. Let it absorb all the odors and things, and then just vacuum it all up and it'll feel much fresher. And then of course, rotate and flip your mattress. If you have one that is a coil mattress that is flippable, certainly flip those so that you get even wear and tear out of your mattress and you don't get one spot that sags more than another from frequent use. And the other thing I like to do every time I change my sheets, this is just a little small maintenance tip, is I actually mix up some eucalyptus essential oil with some water. Just put some, maybe 10 drops of oil into a little water bottle with water. I do use Young Living, of course, that's my brand, and spray that into your mattress. So every time I take the sheets off, I will spray eucalyptus in there, and it kind of helps keep things fresh, and it also will kill the germs, any kind of germs there, and it actually is a deterrent for little critters like dust mites. Dust mites don't like eucalyptus, and so it kind of wards off dust mites and allergens. So that's something I like to do every time, and it kind of keeps it nice and fresh. Last thing is to clean your ceiling fans. And of course, this is not specific to just the bedroom, but I do have a ceiling fan in my bedroom, and I have a couple others in our other bedrooms. And so what I will do is I will take a pillowcase. This is like a nice, easy hack because my husband's allergic to dust, and so I don't want to kind of have dust flying everywhere. And so I take a pillowcase, and I will just slide that over the fan blade and gently kind of wipe it off and just kind of pull all the dust into the pillowcase, and repeat for all the fan blades. And that way you have the majority of the dust already contained in like a nice pillowcase that you can just then toss in the wash. And then I follow that up with just a nice spray of whatever your favorite cleaner is. I'm using the Young Living Thieves Cleaner for that, so I can make sure that it's nice and sanitized. Because the last thing you want is just having dust kind of flying everywhere in your room and making you sick, making you sneeze. So that is one thing I definitely recommend doing. And last up is just the things that are kind of all throughout your house. And so the thing that comes to mind here is baseboards. So baseboards is certainly not something that I clean more than once a year. And so baseboards are definitely something that people kind of think of. I think when they think of spring cleaning, it's what comes to mind. So for your baseboards, there are several ways you can do this. There is a tool that you can buy on Amazon called the Baseboard Buddy. And if you have knee or back problems and you really can't bend down very easily, this is something that is probably a good product for you to try out. Certainly give it a try, and you're just able to kind of walk around the perimeter of your baseboards and just use this tool to kind of dust and scrub. I don't have the Baseboard Buddy, and so I'm just using my Norwex cloth to go ahead and clean the baseboards. And then I've heard that you can actually use a dryer sheet and rub along once the baseboards are dry from your cleaning. Use a dryer sheet to rub along, and that helps the dust not stick to them. I guess with the static, it repels the static. The static helps repel the dust. So check out that hack and see if that works for you. Next up is replacing the smoke alarm batteries. This is again something that I just never think to do, but it is important to do to make sure that your home is safe. So if you have carbon monoxide detectors and smoke detectors, both, just go ahead and replace those batteries. That way they're fresh and they, you know that they are keeping you safe throughout the night. Next up is sanitizing the doorknobs and light switches. So I do this on a regular basis, but maybe not everybody might think of it. So definitely go around, and I use sometimes a Clorox wipe for this because it's just easy to wipe with a Clorox wipe. But if you're trying to be more green and clean with more natural cleaners, certainly check out using Norwex cloths or Young Living Thieves Cleaner or whatever cleaner that you like for this process. Next up is blinds. So this is one where, similar to the ceiling fan, your blinds accumulate a lot of dust and just kind of grime depending on the room that they're in. And they're all throughout your house, and they can kind of be a pain to clean, especially if you have the kind I have, which is the horizontal like faux wood blinds. So if you have this kind, there's an easy way that you can clean these. If you want to clean them dry, there's a tool for this. I do have a tool that you can clean your blinds. This actually works with all horizontal blinds. You just kind of take it and rub it across. You run it across the length of your blind, and it gets rid of the dust. But if you really want to deep clean and spring clean these, you can actually remove your whole blind, and especially only if you have the this plastic or PVC, you can actually soak it in the bathtub. So put a little bit of dishwasher detergent or any kind of other cleaner that you'd like to use. Stick that in the bathtub with some hot water, and you can actually clean your blind and just let them soak. And that way it is a nice way to soak them all. The dirt and the grime kind of comes off, and that way you don't have to really go around and scrub each individual slat. It's a very nice like time-saving thing to let them just kind of soak in there, and then kind of drip them off and lay out some towels and just let them kind of dry. You can always hand wipe as well. So if you have vertical blinds, you can do that. If you don't want to take off those vertical blinds, maybe a little harder to do with the track. Definitely just hand wipe those down, but I like to take these down with the kind that I have and just take them all down and soak them in the tub. Lastly is windowsills. So this is something that I don't give a lot of attention to. I may clean my windows more often than once a year, but windowsills just do not get that same love. So for the windowsills, I often will hand vacuum some of the loose dirt out, or use an Norwex cloth or microfiber cloth, just to kind of wipe out all the loose dirt in the windowsill itself. So for the window tracks, to clean those tracks out, so I don't often do this when it gets like nasty dirt in there and it's really hard to clean. Actually, just consider taking your window screen out, and then take some hot water and pour the hot water into your tracks, and just kind of maybe give it a little scrub. You can use a toothbrush for this, or just a regular sponge, and then continue rinsing with some hot water, and then replace the screen. And now that the windowsill and tracks are cleaned, I go ahead and clean the actual windows themselves. I just grab my microfiber cloth, wet it, and wipe down the window. And then I go ahead and use my Norwex window fiber cloth, and it makes a really nice, like, streak-free shine. So, oh my gosh, this is so much better. Look how much cleaner and sparklier everything looks. Much improved from the nasty, like, dirty windowsill that I had before. So that is everything. I feel so much better now that everything is kind of clean, and I've done it once a year. Everything's kind of a little bit fresher. So hopefully this helps you guys out. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. And if you have any hacks for cleaning for spring, hopefully that your house is much fresher now and you are ready to head outdoors and start enjoying some of that sunshine. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks, guys.